And here we are. Hi. Yep, it's us again. Here we are again. I wasn't sure if I was going to be here all day today or not, so I did, as it says, I wrote all the stuff and set up my entire show on Tuesday. In theory, this is called being a professional, but that means that I've got songs already lined up and stuff. I do have to do a couple more things just to prove that I'm organized. But I'll get there as people begin to file in and file out again. I'm watching this. There's a little number down here on the screen that says how many people are actually logged in and watching, and it went from 1 to 3 to 1. Is it something I said? Is it something I did? I don't know. It's hard to tell. It really is hard to tell. And I honestly don't even know if that number is accurate, because at this point, how can you tell if anything's really accurate? So I'm just going to pull up the songs and stuff, and then we're going to get into it here. Today is 1 cover, 1 filk, and 2 original songs. So that's kind of fun. Okay, let's see. I guess I got to get those. Make sure I get some of these things actually brought up in the notes before I start to try to play them. Just so that I know, because at this point I have a fair number of songs in 14 filks, about 18 covers, and somewhere in the vicinity of 40 original songs. What the heck am I doing with that? That's clearly insanity at its finest. You just rehearse do the same thing over and over again and think that it's going to change. And the last one is that one there. Okay. All right. It's important to get all these things organized. That's a professionalism aspect of it, really. So we're going to start up with one of my faves. Yeah, 1 bourbon, 1... Yeah, it's 1 cover, 1 filk, 2 songs. 1 bourbon, 1 scotch, 1 beer, 1 brandy. And then all of the Everclear that you can comfortably carry with both hands. So, real quick. Yeah. I don't even know what that is, but I'm going to make a song out of that one of these days. But the first song I'm going to do is a Buffett song that I enjoy. And it's something I have not done very much of at all this year, which is spend far too much time in hotel rooms. Because when you do fare, if you don't camp and you live far enough away that it's more than like a 3-hour drive, you don't want to drive back and forth every single time. You just wear yourself to a frazzle. Well, this hotel room's got a lot of stuff. A laundry bag and a shoe shine cloth. 32 hangers and a touch-tone phone with a light that comes on when I ain't home. I ain't home, I ain't home. Better leave a message 'cause I ain't home. Yeah. They got an air conditioner for when I'm hot, a radiator for when I'm not. chairs sitting side by side with a holy guy, Bible and a TV guide. TV guide, a TV guide. Great God Almighty, it's a TV guide. A VT guide? What the heck? I got a second story view from curb to curb. I got a sign that reads, "Do not disturb." A monogram towel and a bucket of ice, a chest of drawers and a mirror that lies. Mirror that lies, a mirror that lies. That couldn't be me in that gorilla disguise. They got a room service menu for food and drink, a porcelain throne and an aluminum sink, 2 big pillows to rest my head, a magic fingers and a king-size bed. Put in the quarter, turn out the lights, magic fingers make you feel alright. Feel alright, I feel alright, magic fingers make you feel alright. Well, this old hotel's alright with me. They pay the postage if you lose the key. This hotel room's got a lot of stuff, but I do believe I've had enough. I called my baby, said, "Now don't you pout. I'm packing my bags and I'm checking out." Just soon as you hang up the telephone, stick a candle in the window, I'm a-coming home. Coming home, coming home. Stick a candle in the window, I'm a-coming home. Whoa, coming home, coming home. Stick a candle in the window, I'm a-coming home. TV guy. Yeah, something like that. Make your life more exciting with TV Guide. How long ago this song was written? It was written in the 70s, and you can tell because there's a line about how they pay the postage if you lose the key, because once upon a time, a long time ago, way back in the mists of history, before many of you were born, you actually got a physical key to get into your hotel room instead of the little plastic card. And if you wandered off with it, and the key was always attached to, some kind of fob roughly the size of a gum container, and if you wandered off with that key, they said, it's all right if you just put it in the mailbox. It will get delivered back to the hotel, and we won't be angry at you. Never mind about the magic fingers, which we have gone into in a previous episode. That's an old song, but I'm an old guy, so it all kind of works out nicely that way. Oh my goodness. Now, the next song, and I'm going to try and make this happen correctly this time, is based on, guess what, something I saw on the internet. And actually, let me see if I put it up right. Yes, I did. Okay, this thing right over here. See, it says, yesterday I scalded my hand at work when boiling water sloshed over the side of a mug. I made some joke about being clumsy to the kind scientist who was offering me first aid. And he looked me in the eye and said in the most serious voice, "We are all victims of physics." And I loved that. And when I saw that, it's like, well, clearly that's the name of a song. And then I had to write it. And when I wrote this song, I wrote it in almost the key of D. I know this chord has a name, and I can't remember what it was. And every time I get to the point where I'm trying to explain what this chord is, I always realize that I have not looked it up properly, and then I wind up just not explaining what it is. But it's second fret, first string, second fret, second string. It's almost a D. As a matter of fact, if I just roll this finger over, then it's a D, which gives me this little. Which is kind of nice. I'm a victim of physics. Gravity just gets me down. Well, I'm a victim of physics. Inertia's just pushing me around. My My coefficient so close to zero, I'm a laughingstock in this town. Well, I'm a victim of physics. No lever could be too long. Well, I'm a victim of physics. My weak force just ain't that strong. I get no emotion from motion for the duration of this song. I lost that primal spark. My quarks don't want to work. I'm so dang disconnected, can't even work a tuning fork. Oh, baby, I'm like a cathode that's just plain stuck. It ain't centrifugal force, baby, it's my life. It just plain sucks. Well, I'm a victim of physics. My vector's a crooked line. Well, I'm a victim of physics. Relatively speaking, I don't feel fine. I got a single detection theory, but it can't resolve why I still whine. Well, I'm a victim of physics. My life's out of scope, so sound the alarm. Well, I'm a victim of physics. My quark's the only thing that has any charm. I can't attract another body, just got my entropy to keep me warm. And it's degrading. I've gone fishing for some light. My fusion's not that bright. I search for the event horizon. There ain't a single one inside. Oh, baby, I'm as sad as a scientist can be. I gotta call myself peerless, cause not a single peer will review me. There we go. Yes, I did in fact spend some time on the internet looking up physics terms. I'm a big fan of science. However, I can't science real good, which is one of the reasons why I spend a lot of my free time here on the interwebs with an instrument writing goofy songs about science. Think about it, won't you? This is show number 119. 119 shows. That's a lot, by all accounts. A lot of the reason I do this is because it keeps me from going completely bonkers. I need to perform. That's who I am. That's what I do. And part of it is that folks out there, y'all being some of them, have informed me that you really like the fact that I do this stuff. And it's fun. It's silly. It's goofy. It's a chance to get your head outside of yourself for a little while. And I appreciate that. I am providing what I'd like to think of as a service as we continue on our ongoing struggle to fight fire with marshmallows. Because that's how we win. It really is. There's no real other way to get around it. We will continue to treat this with all of the seriousness it deserves and all of the absurdism that it merits. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Also, these word balloons here help keep me sane because it means I'm actually talking to people, interacting with people who aren't calling me because they're having problems with their technology. That's my day job. I help highly trained engineers use computers and maybe not destroy them. You can see why. And I haven't killed anybody yet. Well, they haven't found any bodies. And technically, it's the same thing. Next one is a riff on a song by Semisonic. Adjusting a couple of things here so I can see the entirety of the song. This one I have not converted to columns yet. Probably won't because it's just doesn't even matter. I wrote this originally in 2018 and it cropped up in my Facebook memories feed and like, well, now I guess I gotta do it. And it does bring up something, which is that there is a schism between Cthulhu cultists out there, and it's a very, very finessey kind of thing. It's fussy because it's like, do you want Cthulhu to eat you first, or do you want Cthulhu to eat you last? Now, the lasters have a pretty clear message, which is, I don't want to get eaten, I'm going to put it off for as long as I can. The firsters, on the other hand, believe that since the entire world will descend into madness, you might as well get at first and get it over with. I'm not a philosophy major. Cthulhu time. Time for you to call out all of the shambling horror. Cthulhu time. Time for all the fish people to crawl out upon every shore. Cthulhu time. Time for all the madness to be unleashed upon all of the world. Cthulhu time. The many-sided ones come to eat every boy and every girl. Yeah, I know who I want to end the world. I know who I want to end the world. I know who I want to end the world, end the world. Cthulhu time. Time for all the formless ones to break the minds of you and of I. Cthulhu time. We may all go crazy, but I'm not certain that we will all die. So gather up the cultists, open up the grimoire. I hope he'll eat us very last. See? Cthulhu time. Time to name the nameless ones to get up and have his breakfast. I know who I want to end the world. I know who I want to end the world. I know who I want to end the world, end the world. Cthulhu time. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Sometimes when I watch the view counter go up and down, and I know that it's happening during a particular song, I wonder, is it the song that's putting them off? Because let's be completely honest about this. An introspective shoegazing song about bringing forth the end of the world by a non-Euclidean shambling horror probably has a niche market. But I consider it to be amusing. When he gets up and has his breakfast, does he get kaiju coffee? That is a fine question. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to show you something real quick. Now, I'm not going to do kaiju coffee. I did that one last week, and I'm trying not to repeat myself every single week, so it's kind of staggered at this point. Let me show you this right over here. If we bring up the kaiju coffee graphic, all right, now that, pointing in the wrong place, that is not Cthulhu. Probably because it's copyrighted. But you can see there is an infrastructure in place for giant shambling horrors rising up out of the sea to get themselves a cuppa before they get on with their extremely busy day of destroying the fabric of the universe. As a tangent, someone actually brought up something that I have been thinking about a little bit, which is, can you imagine how Cthulhu must see us? I mean, can Cthulhu even cope with Euclidean space and Euclidean beings? I mean, how do these people live in only 3 dimensions? Ugh. That was an incredibly unconvincing Cthulhu impression. Mind you, if his voice actually sounded like that, I'd take the win. Already the last song? Crikey, what is it? It's 20 minutes. This is, in fact, how I've been trying to arrange these shows, not just because it fits within the time frame of my commute, which is about a half hour, but because in the event that I get to do this sort of thing at fairs and festivals and conventions and that sort of thing, 20 to 25 minutes is like the optimum time frame. For the Ren Fair, about 20 minutes is optimum. That means you get 5 minutes to kind of do all the fluffing around as you start your show, and you get 5 minutes to pass the hat and clean up and get off stage. Conventions, I still see it the same way, although they do tend to put like larger blocks of time in between the shows, which is very thoughtful of them, I might add. It's a big shout out to the folks at Texas Furry Fiesta for putting up with me and dealing with my sound check, which was probably one of the sillier ones that you had to do. The last song today is, in fact, this one. Fernando. I had this chord before I had the song. And what's really funny about it is, those of you who have not heard the story, I'll try and just recap it very quickly, so you don't have to go staggering through the other videos. My friend Lucky, who is captain of the kitchens, yes, Fernando, captain of the kitchens at Scarborough, and also known as the goat horn, one of the goat horn seller people. They are a wonderful human being. When they encounter a jumping spider, which at Renaissance festivals happens more often than you might think, they have a tendency to name each spider Fernando, and I thought, Fernando. But I was also messing around with the just random strums that I do sometimes, and I hit this chord. It's like, Fernando. It's like, ooh, now I gotta write a song about Fernando. Oh, it's gonna have to be a flamenco song. Ooh, I need to learn flamenco chords. Thankfully, we live in an era where the internet is right there. And I found this is a flamenco chord right here. What luck. Really? There we go. Don't work so hard. Don't work so hard, you have a microphone. 8 little legs and 8 little eyes and 1 heart big as a tree. This tiny, valiant, jumping spider is a boon companion to me. Fernando, Fernando, the jumping spider. He's friendly. Looking for an amigo. He's not trying to make you scream, to jump, shout, or to bellow. If he hops up and lands on your shirt, he just wants to say hello. Fernando, Fernando, the jumping spider. He's friendly. Looking for an amigo, he's not trying to make you cry. But he hops up and lands on your shirt, you might just scream really high. Fernando, Fernando, the jumping spider. He's friendly! Fernando. And so we come staggering bravely to the finish line of yet another 30 minutes of what the heck was that all about? The Troubadork Non-Commute Show. Thank you for hanging out with me once again. It has come to my attention that I am now generating content 5 days a week, which is wacky, because I have the non-commute shows Monday through Thursday, and then I have Ask Philo on Friday. We'll get to Ask Philo in a minute. So I don't feel quite as self-conscious about doing this next part because we do live in a capitalistic society. So, you know, money, blah, 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 blah. There's a tip jar. It's over here. It's called... Ding, ding, this side. It's called paypal.com/theadequate and also Venmo @theadequate for you hip kids using Venmo these days. I don't have a Cash App account. I'm only one guy and I'm 53 years old. I'm lucky to have gotten PayPal. I want to thank Eric and Robert and Rick and Emily and Miranda, all of whom have generously donated, and some have donated more than once, which makes me question their sanity, but anything that comes into the tip jar goes back into the show for production value, which is why I have a fancy ring light and a little switch to turn fancy ring light on and off. I have Stream Deck, and I have guitars, I have ukulele strings and tuners and batteries and stuff. If you want to commit to supporting Adequacy on a more long-term basis, I would direct you to Patreon. Patreon.com/theadequate, where Kaskuro and Linda and Shay and Ann and Stephen and Robin and Alicia and Relly and BK and Kaylee and Richard and John and Brian and Lorene have all decided to toss a buck or two into the bucket every month. And in exchange for that, they get previews of songs. I am working on some new songs. I will be putting those previews out there. At the $2 or higher level is the cheapest ad budget in the world, like right here, paperangelpress.com. That's one of my $2 folks. If you have, if you're giving me $2 or more, and you have a service, a product, a website, a company, another human being that you want to promote on the crawl down here, drop me a line. I will put it down here. I have no shame. You are giving me money. That's value add right there. At the higher levels, you also get ebooks and buttons and physical books, and at the $10 level, you say, you're so darn smart, you write me a song about, and you tell me what to write a song about. Or give me a title, and I write a song, and I perform it here. Because that's how this works. I actually managed to do one song. I got paid $100 for a song once, a couple of weeks ago. It's absolutely the most bizarre thing that's happened to me so far in this particular arc in my career. Patreon.com/theadequate. If you have friends with low standards and lots of cash, or if you are someone with low standards and lots of cash, look me up. The archives all live over here at facebook.com and twitch.tv/TobiasTheAdequate. That's the Facebook Tobias the Adequate fan page and the Twitch Tobias channel. The channel keeps 2 weeks of shows. The Facebook page is forever. YouTube.com/MPLEGARE. You can find the videos all there, mostly in the streaming section now, but there's also a Troubadork playlist, which is updated about once a week. I'm not that organized. You can also check out Ask Philo over here at Anchor.fm, the home of the Adequate podcast and other objects like that, where Philo Thibodeau, Headbecker Kneecap, Redneck Romancer from Achakafluka County. How do you spell that? We don't. We try not to. It hurts. We'll answer your questions about life, death, undeath, the dark arts and crafts, possums, nutria, grandmas, why we're not allowed back in Build-A-Bear no more, stuff like that. That happens every week, and it drops on Friday at 1 a.m. in accordance to absolutely no ancient, arcane, obscure text of any kind. It's entirely random. 1 a.m. Friday, Anchor.fm/theadequate. It's over there. Or wherever you get your podcasts, and that includes Spotify. So if you're a Spotify person, just look up the Adequate Podcast and subscribe, and it'll be there. You know, I can't make it any easier for y'all unless I can come into your house and do it. But if that means you're going to have to feed me. I think that's everything. That's everything for this time around. Thank y'all once again for hanging out with me. Y'all add to my quality of life, and I hope that I can add to your quality of life as well. One more Troubadork Non-Commute Show tomorrow. Thinking about doing Eat Bertha's Muscles. Don't think I did it last week, so I can get away with doing it this week. I do need to have some more. I need to put some more time into it, some more songs. Did Kaiju last week, so I'll probably do Kaiju next week. Working on some additional songs and stuff. Llama of Justice is still floating around, and that's based on a picture I saw where there were some Proud Boys coming to protest or something, and a bunch of freedom-loving hippie kids. They brought a llama. And I thought, Llama of Justice. Oh, I gotta write a song now. So we will look into doing that. If you've got any suggestions for songs or links to things you think might inspire me, great. You don't have to send me the one with the rifle that makes the fart noise. I've gotten that 4 times. Also, anything involving a very large bicycle horn and a silence on it saying don't, I've definitely gotten those too. But hit me up at The Adequate on all the usual places. Y'all have been wonderful. I've been Tobias the Adequate. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Vote. Don't care who you vote for, but do vote. Texas early voting started on the 13th, and it's going till the end of the month. So voting McVoteface. Be good to folks. Thank you for encouraging my behavior, and I will see y'all next time. You take care.